iHeartRadio, anywhere you find podcasts.
Nice, excellent. And I love that. I love the idea that content creation isn't just video content, because something you can really do to help boost a lot of your video content is to make micro content that is there to support your main content creation. If you are a Twitch streamer, a YouTuber, whatever, you can make supplementary material that is the goal to drive people to your main content. We like to call it micro content. Imagine that as I made a blog post about this video game review. Here's the video for that video game review. I'm making tweets about this that is going to try to get you to watch the full YouTube video, watch the TikTok, watch whatever it is. There's a lot of different things that we can do to give more life to the content that we worked so hard and spent so many hours to make. That big, large, valuable piece of content will take a little bit of time to make smaller pieces of content to help that larger piece of content get more life and get more energy. My mouse is over here. Nope, that's not how I do it. That's how I do it. So, how do we grow our streams? How do you grow on Twitch? How do you grow streaming on any platform? And the answer is to stop streaming. You really cannot stream in order to get growth nowadays. If you listen to the advice that if you grind, if you just make that good content, keep improving your content, you make better and better streams, there is absolutely no guarantee that you're going to grow, and you're only hurting yourself, because platforms like Twitch, like Facebook Gaming, do not help you find an audience. There are so many people doing exactly what you're doing, and there's nothing about your Twitch streams that at a glance is gonna make someone want to try to find you or discover you. What you need to be doing is making content on platforms that give you that opportunity. TikTok is especially nice right now, because who has ever gone on TikTok and searched for specific types of content? You just sit there on TikTok, you sit on TikTok and you just scroll until you hate yourself. Until the world decides that, oh, I need to finally get out of bed.
Twitter as well?
Twitter as well, the same type of thing, but Twitter is a little bit more curated in that it's usually focused on who you're already following. For a lot of TikTok, it's just these random things being thrown at me because the TikTok algorithms decide that I'm gonna like it, and I am a monkey brain that's just gonna sit here and scroll until I hate myself enough to get up and start my day.
What kind of Wreck-It Ralph 2 plotline is this?
This TikTok, man, it's the algorithms, they got us.
Yeah.
And so when you have content on these platforms that are more driven by algorithms, where you can make content that's searchable, that has a chance to be viral, you have a better chance of having yourself be discovered on these platforms. Your Twitch stream is just gonna be sorted by number of viewers. And so the only way to grow on Twitch is to have more viewers in the first place, and it's just this circular logic that we're not gonna get big until we start getting more viewers. Streaming is really crowded. These are old numbers. I may not have done research since COVID times, so apologies for that. There hasn't been many numbers on this since 2020. But 2017 poll asked kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I was like, I want to be Markiplier. Jacksepticeye, whoever was big in 2017, that's a lot of the answers on here. And YouTube was that rock star for our generation, for that next generation. I don't want to be a rock star, I don't want to be an actor, I want to be a YouTuber, the people whose media we grew up consuming. I want to be like that. And you're fighting against all these people in order to get eyes on what you're doing. How do you set yourself apart from that? That's what we need to try to figure out. So, what platforms are you making content on? I skipped ahead of this. My brain is a little bit tired, so we'll just skip this one. We did it. All right. And yes, I want you to make 100 YouTube videos, 100 TikToks, 100 tweets every single day. But that is just not realistic. If we want to get eyes on our stuff, we gotta be making as much content again to give ourselves every single little chance to be found. But what are we focusing on? What is gonna be that primary content that we're making? And how can we reuse content in that smaller piecemeal way, where the goal of that smaller piece of content isn't to make brand new, fresh content by itself. I just want to send people to that bigger one. You can think of it as a video, I'm doing a cooking video, Can I make written recipes for that cooking video? Send people to watch that cooking video. Or I'm making a cooking video. Can I make a TikTok of me trying out different things for that cooking video? If I'm an artist, if I'm making a large, beautiful piece of art I'm gonna spend a month on, how can I make the process of me making that piece of art content in of itself to let people in through the veil, behind the scenes, and come with me on this journey with me? We want to try to figure out how we can take what we're already doing and reuse that without having to put a lot of stress and all the work ourselves, feel like we have to do 100 things every single day. So, what's your target audience? You might have heard this a little bit. Who are you trying to make content for? And I want you to imagine this not as a target, but just a bullseye on that target. If you narrowed down to one person, took one person, cloned them a bunch of times, and they're gonna watch you, they're going to be there to support everything that you're doing. What do they like? Do they like anime? A bunch of weebs, doing some anime stuff, whatever it is that, ooh stuff. You like sports, like a man? I know sports. I love soccer.
Yeah.
Or like you like fans, you're an engineer. You're really into fans. You want to teach people how to. Houston is so important to stay cool, guys. You know, HVAC, you're starting your HVAC career. You're gonna be like, how do you stay cool? I'm gonna teach you guys about these fans. You don't need air conditioning. Only fans is all you need. That's right. So, but when you're thinking about this person, I want someone who likes your content. I want someone who loves it, who looks at it and goes, this is exactly what I've been looking for. This is exactly what I want. I want you to always think about what they're gonna feel about your content. And this is a little exercise. Am I standing in front of everything? I am. Nope. Wires. Okay. Figure it out. So, when you're thinking of this person who you're making the content for, try to visualize how they use the internet throughout their day. When do they use the internet? Are they using the internet on their cell phone, on their computer, on an iPad? When they wake up, when they're at work? Are they listening to something in the car? Are they sitting there at work with a secondary screen that they shouldn't be using for watching something, but they actually totally are? Are they a student and they're doing homework and they want something to listen to in the background? When they're doing this, which websites and what platforms are they using? Is the person you're going for using TikTok, using Twitter, using Twitch, using YouTube? And then what are they looking for in these platforms? Small things, but it really helps you narrow down exactly what this person's looking for when they're looking for content on the internet. If I'm a chef, if I'm making cooking thing for someone on YouTube, someone on TikTok, someone on Twitch, very slightly different things. But you can see how if I made one thing, it's gonna do well on one platform, but not on the others. And then the person I'm making it for. Am I making this for a mom who wants to cook for a family? Am I making this for a 13-year-old kid who just wants to see them eat a whole bunch of stuff and they don't care about that process? Am I making something for someone who is a nerd and wants to see nerd culture being repeated in the stuff that they're seeing on the screen? Who am I making this for? And then how are they engaging with that? So, are they watching it passively on that screen because they have other work to do? Are they the type of person to sit in that stream and talk with you the whole time? Are they the type of person who wants to comment and share on a TikTok and send this out to people? Or are they a person who's just gonna watch and scroll and move on? And of course, what is it that you're actually doing for these people? How are you making that content this person wants? How are you making the content this person wants to take and then share it out to more people? Hey, brand. That's the word. Brand. Do that to cows. But what is your brand? Your brand is going to be everything about you online. Everything. Your personality, your visuals, your niche, the people that you talk to, the companies that you work with. All these things are a part of your brand. And I want you to think of things like Red Bull, McDonald's, these large corporate companies. You are thinking of colors, you're thinking of their commercials, you're thinking of who is consuming that thing. If I think of the average Target customer, they may have showered this morning. Maybe not. What about Wally Wally World? Walmart's a little bit lower on that social hierarchy. But they're going for that specific audience. They know who's going to be shopping there. Who's going to be drinking Red Bull. If you look on a Red Bull can, here's a fun exercise. Go just grab bags of chips and sodas and read the stories they tell you on the back. They tell you stories about, yeah, this drink is for the business professional who wakes up, takes coffees for nerds, and loves Red Bull injected straight into his eyes every morning. That's what this energy drink's for the working professional who's too busy for coffee. And that sort of thing. You'll see it on chips too. Chips tell this story about who they want to be eating this chip. It's fried corn. But they know who they want to eat it, and they know exactly who they're targeting. We're going to do that for your content. We want to develop your visual brand. Think about the colors involved. Spend some time, if you look it up, there's the emotions that you get from certain brand colors. Blue is very calm, very intelligent. Red, very passionate, very energetic. Yellow, very playful, very young. These colors that you use are very important whenever you're thinking about your brands. If you have a stream that's black and blue lightning, and you're here telling me about how you're very chill, and we want to be relaxed, we're a nice family, your graphics and your aesthetics are telling me a different story. That can be harder for me to understand what your brand is about. If you have pastel colors, ooh cute, and you are an esports gamer, I might be confused about why I'm watching your stuff visually. Everything else can be in line, but your visuals can help sell that idea. If you're an artist, can you use things in your visuals to sell the idea of what your content's about? Can my YouTube thumbnails, my Twitter banner, my Twitch banner, my panels have things that tell me what I'm about? I'm about knitting, I'm gonna have yarn here, I'm gonna have things like that. I'm about cooking, I'm gonna have food, skillets. I'm about art, I'm gonna have pens and paper. Sell your brand as fast as you can and get this idea about who you are and what you're about across to your audience as fast as possible. McDonald's has a clown, I don't know why, but it's about burgers.
Because we love to see you smile.
Is that why? Well, then what about the hamburger? What is a wallet?
And grimace.
What's the purple thing?
Grimace.
What is a grimace? An old chicken nugget?
Probably.
No, chicken nuggets do not change colors. They just get dry. A mood board is excellent for developing your brand. If you have never heard of a mood board, that's fine. A mood board is basically a collection of any different elements that you want to take and make a part of your brand and your design. Save fonts, save images. I like the cyberpunk poster. Cyberpunk has nothing to do with my aesthetics, but just the way that they use that big bright yellow on the background of the character, I like that aesthetic and I want to use that in some of my visual branding. I like steampunk. Yeah, what's up?
I actually have a question about that.
Mhm.
My YouTube channel is very, like the aesthetic I'm going for is like Jet Set Radio inspired graffiti and but like also like nautical themes like the ocean and stuff like that, so light colors.
Graffiti and ocean.
But also like my character guy lives in like a haunted house, so like is that too many like?
That is, look, you already had me stretch at graffiti ocean and now you're at haunted
Yeah.
house as well.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
what
I
you're
was
gonna be
thinking.
about here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I assume you might be a gaming channel because of how far away all those things are from each other.
No, actually, I just make animations. Like, I thought
Animations.
I thought
So
about
then,
anime.
if you are doing animations, I like to see you sell the idea that you are the creator of these animations. To sell that idea is that you can have these different things. These are different things I've animated, but the connecting through line is that I'm the person who created this. So I want to sell that. You're gonna have the thing that you made, but a little character of you drawing it. And you're gonna have a lot of that repeated and shown again that I am the creator of this thing. What's up?
Okay, I have a question. So, and a lot of it I need to like rebrand anyway because it's old and historic and stuff. So my main colors are like a nice light blue, white, and like a dark blue, and like the whole channel. It's kind of got like a pirate theme.
Okay.
Like my channel name is profanity on Twitch. Like we would call it like the profane crew, like curse a lot, but like sailors, you know, curse like a sailor, yada yada yada. We were talking about making like a pirate girl mascot. You know, you go on YouTube, and everybody got like their little anime girl mascot.
All right, we got pirate girl mascot, we got colors.
It's kind of like just and I'm energetic and custom, so it makes sense. I wouldn't profanity.
So what I want to get through is like, what is the idea that we're selling here? Why do I have an anime girl sale? Is it because I'm into anime and I'm trying to get people to know that I'm into anime myself? I'm going to choose visual elements that are evocative of that. I'm going to have myself drawn in anime style. I'm going to have manga panels, things that look like manga panels in my stuff. If I am nautical themed, why am I nautical themed? There should be a through line that connects what you're visually doing with the content that you're making. Because your aesthetics are not just there to make you unique, but also to sell the idea of what it is that you're doing. You gotta make sure those two things are connected in some way. There's lots of ways to do that. The point is like, how do I do that? How do I connect those two things to make them make sense to a viewer? And what I always want to think about is, if someone's never seen my stuff before, do they understand why this thing's here? If this is confusing to them, maybe I need to make this make more sense. If I am about hardcore gaming and I have a cute panda avatar, why is that cute panda avatar something that they see all over the place? What makes sense there with that and me and my hardcore gaming? What's going on there? How can I bring this in together? Make it make more sense. Maybe it's because I take a lot of scenes that just have me in panda for aesthetics. Maybe it's because I like Chinese culture and I want to bring a lot of Chinese culture into my content creation, and I have a lot of those Chinese inspired themes. That's why a panda is represented for me in my content. That starts to make a lot more sense. But there's gotta be that connection there. Making that mood board, this is what you also want to take to a graphics designer. It gets you so far into that design process that you can say, hey, these are visual elements that I like, emotes, fonts, colors, images, things from other content creators that I see and I like what they're doing. I want to see how I can bring this together and make this my own. Your marketing material, business cards. Who's got business cards? I love to see business cards. And I have business cards up here, I have stickers up here. I'd love for you guys to take some later. Have things to give away at events, especially because when you start taking there's never too early to start selling yourself. Never too early to start making branded images, branded material for yourself, especially when you get to events. You never know when you're gonna have a valuable conversation with people. All of my most valuable sponsorships have been made through in-person connections. I am in a movie now. It's a documentary about game development here in Houston. They did a game development competition. I was hosting that game development competition. I got that opportunity from hosting a panel at Anime Matsuri a few years ago. And what happened was I was late for, well, no, I wasn't late for my panel, but I was walking into my panel, walking around, and a woman approached me just trying to sell the thing that she was working on. I'm working on this game development project. I took her stuff, didn't think about it. But she actually knows a few other people that I knew. After revisiting her flyer, I recognized her name, contacted her again. Hey, we met at this thing, I told you about that panel I was hosting. She saw that panel. She knew that I knew how to host, I knew how to talk to people, I knew how to present myself on stage. That got me that opportunity. Wouldn't have had that information if I hadn't given her my business card. Very important to have this. You never know when you're going to have that card. And there's gonna be a lot of times when you might have an incredibly valuable conversation with somebody. They love what you're doing. They're like, you have a great idea for a podcast. I love that. Let me get in contact with you later. But you have nothing to give them. Maybe they're out of cards themselves, so you have they can't give you anything. You can't make that connection. You possibly could have lost that entirely. And there are people like, hey, I just want you to follow me on Twitter. Sure, you can use Twitter or whatever else to follow people, but it's so easy to forget how you made that connection in the first place. And what I do is I always carry a Sharpie with me anytime I go to a convention. Because when I get a business card from someone else, I write things down on that business card immediately. I write when we met, what we talked about, when I want to follow up with you, or if I even want to follow up with you at all. Sometimes I just put a little X on there and says, I don't really want to talk to this person again. It was fun talking to them, but there's nothing that I need to like send a follow-up email and say like, hey, we talked, loved it, doing whatever. But that way, when I get home, I have a stack of business cards. I've talked to 36 people, 100 people that weekend. I have a stack of business cards this thick. After having fun all weekend long, there's no way I can remember who all these people are. By having all those notes I've written, all those business cards, I can put them into stacks. I know exactly who I need to follow up on. I need to send these people my marketing deck. I need to send these people just information about me. These people were just cool and I just like them and we'll just meet and hang out again another event, but I don't want to work with them. So I'll just say, hey, that's it. But those are very useful and very important connections to make when you're at events. I said marketing deck. What's a marketing deck? Marketing deck looks something like this. Again, a little old, haven't updated since COVID. Sorry, I haven't been outside. My apologies. COVID stopped that. But a marketing deck looks a little something like this. It is your one-page resume as a content creator. You want to tell people what you're about, who you're interested in working with, why they want to work with you. If you don't have numbers to share, you're brand new, you're starting out, you don't have numbers to share about how many viewers you have, that sort of thing, what do you put on there? Tell them about things you've done. I've done a charity stream in the past. I've worked with this company. I made reviews for this. These are things I'm doing. You want to sell yourself just like in a resume when you're applying for a job. Make yourself impressive to work with. Because the goal of this marketing deck is to send it to the marketing person and they go, all right, he seems good. Let's see if anyone else in the company wants to work with him. And that's the goal. And it makes you look professional. The easier you are to work with, the more professional you are, the more likely a company is to work with you. A lot of my clients who I've worked with as a coach have gotten onto the exact same campaigns as I am. And they had a 10th of the numbers of viewers and followers I had. But they got paid the exact same amount because they knew how to present themselves professionally. They knew how to say, this is me, this is what I'm going to do for you, this is what I'm going to do with you, I'm going to give you these many videos, I'm going to show you this, I'm going to provide examples of exactly how we're going to work together, and all that person at the company had to do is say, yeah, that's good. And if you can do that, you make yourself so easy to work with. A lot of companies are going to be willing to work with you because they know that you're serious about this content creation. You're not just someone who had a gaming channel like, I want to play games and get money. Do that fat donation. I want to take this serious. I want people to think of me seriously. I want to present myself seriously. Have material like that. How do you network? Well, keep missing my mouse. Networking is a word that we throw around a lot. A lot of people have a lot of different ideas of what networking is. Networking is really just any time you're making a connection with somebody, be it online or be it offline. If you're talking to someone online, how do you approach them? If you're approaching another content creator, make sure you have a format in mind. That's the most important thing. If you want to collaborate with someone, don't just say, I want to collaborate, I love your stuff, I love to collaborate with you. What are they supposed to say about that? They don't know you, they don't know what you're about, they don't know what that collaboration is. Compare that to, hey, I love your stuff. I love that you do anime content. I have an anime themed podcast. We're gonna talk about the most recent One Punch Man. I'd love to have you on for an hour. We're gonna talk about this. It'll be around this time, these times. Will that work with you? Love to have you on. They know exactly what they're getting into, how much time it's gonna cost them, and why you wanna work with them. Much more likely to get that collaboration happening. And that's the goal, is that you want them to know exactly what they're getting into, not, yeah, cool, let's do something. Because that's definitely happened. And we're like, hey, friend, you want to do something sometime? I haven't seen you in so long. We should like get lunch sometime. You free on days? So also find out if you're targeting a niche, where are the community members of that niche active? Are they active on Reddit? Are they active on Facebook? Where do people hang out? Where do they talk about these things? How can you make yourself a part of that community? Something very important is to change someone's idea of you not being like me. I'm not like you. I don't just like anime. I'm a weeb too. Very important distinction. I'm not just like you. I am one of you. And that difference makes you so much more interesting to somebody. You're so much more persuasive to somebody. You're so much more valuable to somebody whenever you're not just like me. You're one of my family. You have these same connections with me. Being in those communities. Yeah.
I have a question about that. Like, how do you know where people?
How do I find people?
Yeah. Like, how do I know where they hang out at?
How do you advertise stuff?
How do you find people? How do you find out where people are? How do you find out people are? There's so many different ways. And that's just possibly finding out where people hang out online, in person. Are there events in your town like this? If I wanted to get into anime, how do I find out where the anime community is? Find out where people at anime conventions are hanging out. Facebook groups for anime, that sort of thing. A game that you're doing. If you want to make yourself a content creator for this specific game, are they hanging out on Reddit? Are they hanging out on Discord? Are they hanging out on Facebook groups? Whatever it is. Start checking it out. Ask the people, hey, I want to find more stuff like this. What other websites are there?
And I guess a small other one is, I know nobody likes it whenever you just blink drop and then dip out, but like, you also don't want to spend too much time just hanging out, because, you know, you could be making other content. So, how long should you say that you should be in this community before you just start?
I always set designated times for me to be active in the communities I want to be active in. The way I grew as a content creator, I started playing a mobile game called One Piece Treasure Cruise.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I can't believe people know that game. I guess we're at an anime convention, but I'm like, it's a very small niche game. And when I found that game, I knew I wanted to make content for it, and so I found the blog that people were making the guides for. And so I just DM'd the guy who was running the blog. It's like, hey, you guys making written guides, can I make video guides for you? You can put them on your blog, and I get views on my video, you get more people on your blog, everything's great. I'll just be the streamer for your written content. And then there was a community-driven website that was a wiki, basically, that had all the detail, all the characters. That person quit the game. I have a software development background. I took over that wiki. I ran that wiki for 3 years, adding over 1,000 characters to that wiki, translating every single character from Japanese to English. I literally can't speak a single word of Japanese. Every single stream, I was sitting here with Google Translate on my phone, asking people, I was like, this says it's a super bad guy. I think that means boss. And so I made myself a pillar of that community because I found out what they wanted, and I knew there wasn't someone making that for them, and so I wanted to be that person. I knew there was a hole there because I asked the community. I looked there, I was a part of there, and I said, what do you guys like? You guys like this website? It's awesome, I like it too. How can I be a part of that website? How can I join in? How can I help build this community, be a pillar of this community? And you do that for your same content. How much time investment is that? It could just be before and after things. Spend a little bit of time a day. Just like if you have bathroom break, just spend a little time doing something during that break, a little bit of time. The idea is that you don't want to make this a superficial entering into a community. People are very smart about that. People can suss that out very quickly that this person's just here because they want to ride the coattails of popularity of this thing riding up. But whenever you are genuine about it, whenever you are trying to build something with people, they can also tell that. And so how do you find something that you're passionate about, that you want to make content for, that people are looking for, that you can provide to people? Difficult niche to find, but it's important. Very easy. Offline. Hey, congratulations, you're in person at a con. A great time to make connections. Have business cards, start making those. pass them out whenever you have a conversation that might be valuable to you and your content creation. You never know. Maybe you want to work with some company in the vendor hall that has a need for that thing that you're doing. Maybe they don't know that you have a need, but you can work together. What's up?
Like QR codes help, like a business card?
A QR code is like sending someone an email link that they don't know what it goes to. Because I don't know why I'm scanning a QR code. If you have a QR code on something, it should be incredibly obvious to me what that QR code is going to before I even scan it. The QR code I have on my business card has a Discord logo on it, so you know it goes to my Discord. And I'm only using it because that can be an ugly link for people. It's not easy to type in a Discord URL versus like Twitch/Zeenigami. Although my Discord one's/Zeenigami anyway, so it doesn't matter. But while QR codes can be useful, people aren't going to scan it. Americans and Westerns aren't going to scan it unless they know exactly what it's going to. If you're overseas, especially in Asian countries, they love QR codes. QR codes for everything. And always be prepared. I think I had this on here. No, I do not. What I'd love for you to have, do I have it on the next slide? Yeah. Your elevator pitch, the hook, the main thing that's going to get people interested in you. How do you condense everything about what you're about into just 30 seconds? If you've never heard an elevator pitch, this is what it is. You set the scene, lights, camera, oof. You're at a convention. You're a content creator. You are getting into your elevator at the end of the day, and before the elevator doors close, in with you walks super cool, high, incredible, important person you'd love to work with. Big hotshot game developer, Jeff Bezos, PewDiePie, somebody who you want their attention.
Big thing up.
Absolutely. They're on their cell phones. They don't care about anything else, but as soon as those elevator doors close, they lose reception. They go, hey, what do you do? So you have until they get off at the 5th, 6th, whatever floor of their hotel room to tell them about yourself in such a way that they now go, oh, that's pretty cool. Let me give you your card. I'll check you out later. If those elevator doors open, they're like, nice. Then your elevator pitch has failed. Because you are dead to them. You are generic to them. You mean nothing to them. So what you need to do with your elevator pitch is get people interested in you enough to want to find out more, and that is the goal. It should be condensed. It should be concise. And if your elevator pitch is telling me anything about many other content creators, I'm not interested in it. I don't care how interactive you are as a streamer. I don't care that you're building a positive community where everyone can be friends and you can be really accepted. And like, I have anime. Great. I don't know why I care about you. And if you can't convince me to care about you, then that's the end of the conversation. How do we make you that interesting? How do we get a hook into people? Very difficult thing to do, but if you do have that, if you have that elevator pitch developed, then you are going to be so much more interesting to people, and you know also how to sell yourself. Back to the branding. Your elevator pitch should be very close to that. You should be selling the idea of what you are and what you're about in that elevator pitch. You should be telling that idea of why you're a valuable content creator. And this right here is the problem, is that idea of if I play games and are interesting enough, people will watch me and I'll have viewers, I'll have fans, I'll be able to grow if people are interested enough in watching me as I play games. Well, I can literally watch 80 of you in this room play games, and it'll be basically exactly the same because the game is most of the content. How is that going to be more valuable to me than anyone else in this room? I'm funny. Great, Mr. Funny Man. How am I supposed to know that? Can you be funny for 7 hours straight on a 7-hour stream for 5 days a week? A stand-up comedian works months, years of his life to develop a 30-minute stand-up session, and you want to be funny for 7 hours straight? How are you going to do that? How are you going to sell that idea to me? Being funny or interesting isn't good enough. How do we make friends? I'm asking myself that every day as an adult. How do we make friends? Hi, I'm cool.
Sure you are.
Hi, cool, I'm Dad. Well, how am I supposed to know that you're interested? We are something that brought us together, something that connected us, something that tied us together. Maybe we were just in school together. We were forced to talk to each other. Maybe we had something that we met as adults that we had in common. Boy, is that getting harder and harder. That we had in common. Anime, we started talking about that. There was this connection between us, and then through that, you're going to discover that, hey, I am cool, I am interesting, and I am fun to talk to. But that's something that you cannot sell. You cannot market the idea that you're interesting or funny, because everyone thinks you're interesting or funny. So what does that mean to me? How is that unique or valuable to me in any way? Instead, I want to know what else it is that you're delivering to me. And I think that's all I have. That's me. I'm Zeenigami on these places. I'm at Zeenigami on Twitter. I might change that one, but just follow me there. We have time for Q&A. Lots of Q&A. Yes, sir.
How do you keep up with trends? Like trends on YouTube or trends on Twitch? Like
How do you chase trends? On YouTube and Twitch, you basically don't. Trends are not important for content creation that is slower on platforms like YouTube and Twitch. And I would say, I see you, I'll get you. I will say that Twitch should basically be a platform that you can almost completely ignore as a content creator, because it is so hard again to sell the idea that you are a valuable streamer. Format is a word I'm going to like to use a lot. Is that if I walk into your stream for 10 seconds, 30 seconds, how am I supposed to know what it is valuable that you're selling to me? Unless you're repeating it over and over and over and over again. Let's say that you are a mental health advocate. How do I know you're a mental health advocate while you're playing games? Unless you're talking about that literally right there at that second. But if I go over to your YouTube channel, you have talks about how to maintain healthy mental health while playing games, connecting mental health to other things, have a podcast about mental health. Now I understand what you and your brand is about. Now I can see why you're a valuable content creator to me. Now I understand. And then your Twitch streams, I'll come and hang out on that, because I know why I wanted to watch you first. But your Twitch streams can't sell that to me, because it's so hard to get to brand that stream and to get that valuable idea across to me. So Twitch, you could basically almost ignore. Don't worry about it. Make good stuff, make decent stuff, but that's not where I want you to focus. How do I make myself valuable? Do that on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, something else where people can see it formatted in a way that they can digest it in a very predictable way too. I never know when you're gonna walk into a Twitch stream. I know you're gonna start a YouTube video or a TikTok from the beginning, because what kind of psychopath starts at the end? Unless you're skipping ads, that seems rude. This one over here.
How do you learn about the theory and
The algorithms, yeah! Oh, I love the algorithms.
Who's Mr. Gorilla?
Anybody telling you they understand the algorithms is selling you snake oil. Because asking about what the algorithm does is like asking a parent what their child is thinking of at this moment. Like, I think he pooped himself. And I can check, but I can't be sure. I think he's hungry. I think he's bored. But he can never be completely sure, because machine learning literally works like that. The way that the algorithms work literally goes, hey, I want you to have people watch videos more. And then the bots on TikTok and YouTube's like, hey.
Oh, and also if someone says, pay me $500 and I'll show you how the algorithm works, no, it's not working.
That's right. But you can pay me $900 and I'll tell you. $500 is too cheap, that's a scam. But me, I got your backs. Right here, it's a secret sauce. The algorithms just do not worry about them. Instead, what we want to do is focus on good practices. Making good thumbnails, good YouTube titles, good descriptions. In that order, most important things. Thumbnail, title, description, then tags. Mostly for misspelling and other alternate spelling for things in tags. For Instagram, TikTok, tags, things on there, don't stress over it. It's not going to be that important. It's not going to make or break your things. It might, but there's literally no way we can predict that as human beings, so why waste my energy trying to predict what a machine's going to think about for me? Instead, I want to focus on how I can make more valuable content, do my diligence on those tags, spend a few minutes on it, maybe see if something's trending, throw that in. And I'm not going to worry about it, stress about it anymore after that. The one over here.
So you can almost basically say how to be a successful Twitch streamer is to make a YouTube channel.
I Heck yeah. Or TikTok or anything else. One of the biggest things I do for my clients as a coach in content creation is to tell them to stream less. Because if you were streaming for 5 hours a day, 5 hours a week, 5 days a week, and we can take one of those days off and just work on making YouTube videos, making TikToks, writing a blog, doing something else that is adjacent to the content I want to make, that I guarantee you will be more valuable than streaming for another 5 hours. Yes?
So, what I'm getting is that your Twitch kind of becomes like a video Discord almost.
So
with
Twitch
extra.
and streaming is a great engagement platform. It's great to build a rapport with your existing community, to really connect with that existing community better. Existing community being the key words there, because it cannot help you find more viewers unless you're already big. And then once you're big, once you've got that ball rolling, because of the way Twitch works, is just sorted by size, once you have momentum, you can start having really bad practices. You can have really bad YouTube channels. You can have terrible everything else, but you got so many viewers behind you that that momentum is going to keep rolling because you're at the top of the charts and you're just going to keep rolling. You don't have to make valuable content anymore. It is also very difficult when people look at Twitch streamers and say, this person's popular, how can I repeat that? How can I do what they did to be successful? Not on Twitch. There was one down here, and I see you in the back, somewhere over here. Yes? Yes.
So what you're saying is you probably will never be able to be a solo Twitch person.
Basically, yes. I will happily say that if you just want to grow on Twitch, you're not gonna make it. Because that's just, you're sitting there and you're playing the lottery. And that's all, you're literally just hoping to win the lottery. And that's not a strategy.
I feel like you have a better chance at winning the lottery.
Yeah, that's not a growth strategy. You could do it, maybe you'll get lucky, but is that actually gonna work for you? Probably not. Let's do things that is gonna work for you, or at least has a chance, because content creation is 60% hard work, 40% luck. Quote me on those stats, that's definitely true. I didn't come up with that. Did you guys know that 30% of statistics are made up? Look it up. Isn't that right?
It works 100% of the time, 60% of the time.
Yep. But that luck aspect is something you just cannot influence. We want to do that 60%, get stuff as good as we can. Maybe the algorithms pick us up, whatever it is, take us off into the stratosphere, great. Let's make sure we're doing good stuff.
Alright, so basically what you're saying is do your content on YouTube and treat Twitch as your hangout.
Yeah.
You make
I
better
like that a
connections,
lot,
yeah.
where I want to focus what is my core content on a platform that I can sell that idea to you better. That it is my best foot forward. When I want people to, and here's something. When was the last time you shared a random Twitch stream with somebody else? Compared to when was the last time you sent a YouTube video or a TikTok to somebody else? We're gonna just
Never do any of that.
funny YouTube video, funny TikTok. Look, Anime Matsuri Artist Alley is really crap this year. Sort of thing. And we'll share those things. These are platforms where they are designed to get us to share content. And that's gonna help you as a content creator to be on those platforms where humans want to share those content. So put yourself out there. Back to the target audience. How are they engaging with your content? How do you make content that they want to engage with in that way? If I want someone to like one of my videos, I want someone to comment on the video, to share my video, how do I get that idea across to them? What is it I'm doing? Like, comment, subscribe. Instead of like, comment, subscribe, can I have one focused call to action? Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm looking for ideas for my next video. You let me know in the comments down below. One call to action. I have a Twitter, we're doing something over Twitter, go over to Twitter, check that out. That sort of thing. Yes.
So, how do you, because you have several social media links, how do you manage all of that without going crazy?
You have to be a little bit of a narcissistic sociopath to do all your social media stuff yourself. That comes with time and experience too. to how much time you spend editing a video, your first week that you do it is going to very quickly get shorter. And so a lot of these things, the first time you're using TikTok, the first time you're using YouTube, the first time you're using Twitter, it's gonna take you a long time to figure out that platform. But once you understand it, it starts taking less and less and less time. And now it's easier to work into that content creation schedule. Is that the first time you might make a tweet every few days, and then now you're just sitting there tweeting on the bathroom that like, hey, look at this turd that I pooped out. Great. That's valuable Twitter content. Yeah, you never know what Twitter likes. They are weird. So the plan there is to not figure out what your schedule looks like now, but to work things in over time. I'm gonna work on this, focus on this, get better at this, and then I'm gonna work on this secondary platform. Then I work on this third platform. I'm gonna get better at that, then I'm gonna work at another platform. Working things over time into your schedule.
Would it be better to like start with like a niche thing that you're really into, or to like cast like more wider net?
You absolutely 100% want to niche down. The more niche you can get, the better. Well, maybe there's a little bit too specific. We're starting to talk about like old Sailor Feet OnlyFans. Maybe that's a little bit too specific. But the more niche you can get, the more beneficial that is, until you start getting to the point when you own that market. If you own that market is saturated with you and you can't grow anymore, that's the time that you need to start thinking about, well, what am I gonna do next? What am I pivoting to? Where else am I going to grow? But you need to be in this place that you have that opportunity to grow. When you are a drop in the ocean, there's no chance anyone's gonna find you. Variety streaming content, never gonna help you grow because no one knows, again, what you're about. I have no idea why I don't wanna watch you. There's so many different things you're interested in. And this is the problem I see a lot also, that people will tell me in their pitch about me, I like anime and games and cars and knitting. Okay, that's a lot of stuff. What are you doing in your content? You are not doing all of those things, and if you are, I'm gonna be very impressed about how that all overlaps. So what is your content about? What is that primary thing that people are going to be there for that's going to keep everything tied together?
Well, I actually have a question about that. You know when you say the niche down, but how do I know, like, there's a spot to be filled in said niche, and how do I
find that? There is the Japanese idea of ikigai, the one true calling in life. Something like that, as I botched that idea. But we can take this and apply this to content creation as well. Ikigai has 4 distinct points to it. 1, what does the world need? What am I good at? What do I love to do? And what will the world pay for? If you think about this in a career, in a job, maybe I have something that I'm good at and people will pay for it, but I don't like to do it at all. That's just a profession. That's just your 9 to 5, you get paid and that's it, you don't care about that. And then what you can do, you can have a calling that's going to be something that you're passionate about and that the world loves, and that the world needs, but they're not gonna pay for it and you're not very good at it. So that's just something you do because that is something that you're passionate about. Content creation is the same way. You need to find something that people want to watch, that people are not already making, that you like to do, and that you're good at. Where that intersection lies, that the world wants to watch it, but people aren't making it, but you know you're good at it and you like to do it, that's a hard spot to find. Maybe you're going to have to compromise on one of those things.
And if I was to talk about, like, for example, martial arts or something in anime, would I just type in, like, just
Yeah, that's market research.
like techniques from anime, like I have an SEO tracker, so do I just do that? It's like,
Yeah, just start finding out what's out there. Start laying those feelers out. See what the world is doing right now. Find out what people are doing. Find out where you can fill that niche. Yes.
So if you already have an established, I guess, base or
Mhm.
fandom, how would you be able to pivot? Say when you get to, like when you're at a base.
All right,
Yeah.
let's say that you developed a niche for your content. I am in Mango cooking YouTube niche. I only cook mangoes. That's what I'm doing. You know what? The mango market's down. Mangoes are out of season. No one cares about mangoes anymore. What do I do next? Well, that's when you need to find something that is parallel to what you're doing. Okay, well, I did mango cooking. Maybe I gotta go on coconuts. Maybe coconuts are hot in 2022. That's where I see the future is. But what you want to do is try to find a way to take those established skills and that social proof that you had before and apply that to your new niche that you're trying to get into. I was a mango expert, but now I'm gonna get into coconuts. Let's go. Let's find out about coconuts together. Let's find out how to cook this coconut properly. It is not. Don't bite into it.
So, as a person, what would be the best editing software?
DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is free. It is also very powerful. It's been around for quite some time. It's also free. Very similar to Adobe Premiere. It's free. Got great tutorials out there, and it's also $0.
So